First out, we've got Temperance card, so needing to temper ourselves, which means negotiate with ourselves, I just heard. Keep a balance within ourselves, moderate ourselves. Emotions could have you pulling in different directions, but us needing to have some kind of emotional stability. King of Pentacles, this is the person who you kind of detached from yesterday. They've got something going down at the moment. You don't need to go down with them. It's not your lesson to learn. Could have deviated from them. Hello, I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com, and this is today's tarot for all signs for Friday, the 7th of June, 2024. I hope you're doing well. I have a live show 3 times a week here on YouTube. It's called Psychic Cafe. In there, I give one-question readings, amongst other things. You can book in for one of those one-question readings on my website, BeHealing.com. Find a link for that in the description box below and also up there too. You can book in at any time because I do the pre-book readings right at the start of the next live show. And then I'll send you the link to the replay if you've booked in so you can watch it in your own time. You don't need to be able to make it live in order to get that. Alternatively, you can come live. You can book while I'm live and I'll do it right away. So what's in the energies for everybody today? We've got acceptance. Oh no, something that we need to accept. Now we had that new moon energy yesterday saying that our paths could be diverging from someone else's, and to thine own self be true. And you know, you don't have to take the fall for other people. You might be seeing where other people are headed, and there's nothing you can do about it because we can't interfere in people's lives, lessons, and all of that kind of thing. You might just need to accept it. Guardian, you're being taken care of. You need to take care of yourself. Other people are being taken care of too, even if it doesn't appear that way. They do have higher selves. The universe is on their side too. You just don't know what other people's lessons are. We're always learning things, and what might seem like, oh, they didn't need to go through that, they actually did. They actually do. You know what I mean? It's like we can't. Sometimes you've got to have that higher perspective and just like trust that the universe has got this and their higher self knows what it's doing. Choose wisely, be discerning. You don't have to keep everything in your net. And so, yeah, you don't need to take care of other people or feel guilty for what other people are going through. It does feel like a run-on from yesterday's energy. Now, I also offer private readings from my website, BeHealing.com. You can find a link for that in the description box below and also up there too. And I get those out within 48 hours if you're ordering them. There are 2 ways in which to win a private reading with me every single month. The first way is by being a subscriber to my channel, clicking like on this video, then leaving a comment. Doing those 3 things on my videos throughout the month will get you many entries in to that prize draw. Now, the second prize draw for a free reading with me worth 160 Australian dollars as well is for those of you that check out my pick a card reads. That person's coming up again. Yeah, if you check out those pick a card reads, if you purchase the deeper dives to them, that'll get you an entry into that prize draw for a free reading with me at the end of the month. So, what's in the energies? Let's have a look. One more tarot card out, please. Thank you. Or 2. Right, so first out, we've got Temperance card. So needing to temper ourselves, which means negotiate with ourselves, I just heard. Keep a balance within ourselves, moderate ourselves. Emotions could have you pulling in different directions, but us needing to have some kind of emotional stability. King of Pentacles, this is the person who you kind of detached from yesterday. They've got something going down at the moment. You don't need to go down with them. It's not your lesson to learn. Could have deviated from them. There's a 6 of Cups and the Page of Cups. So reminiscing on good times. It's about seeing the positives. You know how we can do it both ways, right? We can look back, say, at a relationship that's broken up and point out all the bad things and we forget about the good things about it. Or we can look back, say, at a childhood and think about all the good things about it and forget about the bad things. This is about that latter. It's looking back and only remembering the good things and then completely forgetting the things that weren't so great about it. Which has its place, I guess. We've got the Page of Pentacles with the 5 of Pentacles. So starting something off, but 5 of Pentacles, not having the key, like wanting to start things off, but not, there's something missing. Like there's a feeling like you don't have the right ingredients for that cake that you want to make, or you know, you want a job but you don't have, I don't know, you don't have the key to that in some kind of a way. Let's find out more. Temperance. Why are we tempering ourselves? What's going on here? There's an emotional aspect to today and us having to negotiate. I keep on hearing that word, negotiate with ourselves. What is that? Again, King of Pentacles, Six of Materials, reciprocation. So there's a part of us that wants to help this King of Pentacles out and be reciprocal. Perhaps they helped you out in some kind of a way and you're feeling like you owe them. It can be difficult when people are going through their own karma and going through their own lessons. Yeah, that can be difficult. So I need to temper yourself here. A part of you wants to save the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles can be a father figure, a boss, someone that, perhaps a landlord, so someone that's got some part in your material world. So housing, money, that kind of thing. But yeah, definitely a part of us being pulled toward being reciprocal toward that person. It's a savior kind of an energy. Choose wisely, it says. Ground yourself, transformation and struggle. So there's a struggle going on within to set ourselves free. You might have set yourself free yesterday from this situation, but still you haven't set yourself free emotionally. And I think today is about setting yourself free emotionally from that same situation. The King of Pentacles, what's going down with this one today? It doesn't have to be a man. King of Pentacles, it's just something to do with someone. It is somebody, but that somebody has something to do with your material world or your security. Yes, still Tower, something is falling apart from them. The Five of Emotions and the Hermit. You've got to detach yourself from this person. Five of Emotions is about our heart kind of frosting over and defrosting. We cannot save other people from their life path, from their lessons. Trying to save people from their lessons is hindering their path. We can't do it. It's called enabling. That Five of Emotions and the Hermit's saying pull away and don't do that. If you want to be open-hearted and help someone out, help yourself out. And I know, and it seems really selfish, and it's like, but it's them that really needs the help at the moment. And you can be energetically there for them, and trusting that they've got this, they can do this. Like they have got this. So it's obviously a very tricky lesson at the moment, you know. With it coming up so strongly again today, this could be someone that's very dear to you, this King of Pentacles. Someone that you're feeling like, well, they took care of me in one time. And so from a very logical perspective, you could think like, it is up to me to stand in and help this person. But there's really a warning not to do that. There's omens behind that, so you will have had signs, and not just me going on about it in readings. Hopefully you'll have had other signs about that too, that the right thing to do is to back off and to trust them. Page of Cups, Six of Cups. Reminiscing on the good things and you're not seeing the bad things. Now, everything in life is a mixture of positive and negative, but we do have these selective memories. And as I said before, it can go either way. We can look back and think, oh, they were the good times, right? The good old times. We can look back, perhaps to our childhood, they were the good old times, and then forget all the bad things about it. It's like growing up in the 70s, 80s, you know, remembering that time where we didn't have mobile phones and where we didn't have the internet. And you know, it was a great time because we had to be present. But remember all those things that weren't great about it, like having to wait around by a phone box, trying to get in touch with somebody to get a lift back home or something like that. There was a lot of waiting. There was, what else was I just thinking of? Trying to find out information. Going to the library and encyclopedias and stuff like that. It was difficult to find information. Anyway, Page of Cups, Six of Cups. Reminiscing on the good things and forgetting about the bad things. Four of Inspiration. Firm foundations. Oh, about relationships. It's about relationships. So firm foundations came out first. Four of Inspiration. This can be about marriage as well. The Two of Emotions. Someone, a love match, Chariot, pulled in two directions, the Three of Motions because of other people, and the Queen of Materials, you've got your stability. Right. So remembering, remembering just the good things about relationships and marriage. However, someone in the present is pulling you in two directions because you've got a lot of stability at the moment and perhaps not wanting to give up that stability. So very much being pulled in two directions at the moment, just remembering good things about relationships. Changes and anger. Oh, and then something changed and then you're angry about it. So there is that twist. So our subconscious minds could be pulling a number on us today, trying to get us to get into something positive, like a relationship, when our minds, when we've got residual anger based on previous relationships that's still within us, but our minds are trying to save us from that. In a way, we're trying to ignore that by just looking at the positives in the past, which is probably a good thing. It's complicated. It feels like the universe is trying to get us into a relationship here. Page of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, but you want to start something new, but kind of missing the key to that. The Eight of Voices, there is a belief that you've got that's holding you back, and it's got you locked in a position here and unable to move forward. Five of Inspiration, unable to reach higher, unable to reach beyond where you've been before. Okay, it's got something to do with this relationship. Unable to move beyond where you were before because there's this a positive relationship change. That's what it is. A positive relationship that you had in the past. You're remembering all the good things about it, but then it changed. And then it changed made you angry. So this could have been a relationship that you were in and it was all going great. And then something happened. They did something and you had to break up as a result. And there's still anger, residual anger there. But there's a belief that you've drawn up about that. And that's stopping you from reaching beyond that good relationship. So it's like putting a cap on it. Well, that was the best relationship I've ever had. If I can just find that relationship again, or I'll never find that good a relationship again, so I'm reaching lower. It's something like that. That's the key to starting something off. So this is the universe saying, look, you're reaching too low. You should expect more in relationships. But you're holding yourself back from that. There's ascension, there's higher. There's higher to go here. So really doing that inner work today, how am I holding myself back from much better than I've had before? Why do I think that I can't have as good as I've had before? It's that. And perhaps facing residual anger from something changing, from something not staying the same in the past. It's perhaps time to face that because you're only looking at what was good and not what was bad. That Page of Cups is what that Page of Cups is saying about the past. Remember the bad things. It'll justify your anger and perhaps set you free to reach higher. Well, what about our relationships? Criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are. Now, that is what we try and do, right? And that could have you not noticing the red flags or not noticing what was wrong with something. There's an element here in these cards of rose-tinted spectacles or something like that. And you go in that, but I don't want to criticize them. I don't want to criticize them. It's like, well, sometimes we've got to be critical. Sometimes we've got to, it's called being discerning. In fact, it's not being critical. It's called being discerning, to notice something. Polyandry is not the way to be, because then we can't protect ourselves from energies that are not in alignment with us. There's something out of alignment with someone in the past that you're not recognizing that, or you don't want to face it. No, it's that. Reflect on your priorities. So it could be that you had different priorities and you didn't want to face that. Let your fears dissolve. Different priorities, Sometimes it blows my mind when I look back at the relationships that I've had, especially now. I feel like I'm being my full self more than ever. And the kind of people that I'm aligned with now are nothing like the people that I used to be aligned with in the past, or I tried to get into relationships or got into relationships with in the past. And It's funny because a psychic told me many years ago who my true life partner is. And I don't think I've met them yet, or perhaps I just have. But it didn't make sense at the time because it was so far off my radar, you know. It makes complete sense now because they said that they're a professional sports person. And that had nothing to do with my life at the time, but now it has everything to do with my life. So it makes complete sense now. It's interesting. I would have been in my unhealed self would be totally resistant to the kind of people that I am aligned with now. Totally resistant. I wasn't going for that kind of person at all. In fact, I was actively pushing that kind of person away, even though I was attracted. So there's balance and a spark. There's balance and a spark. So you could have a spark with someone that has a balancing effect in your life. Someone that's got similar priorities to you. Now, as we are healing ourselves, we do have priorities of like safety and things like that are not priorities once we're healed. We've got rules and manipulation. So rules that you have about your love life might actually be a manipulation and trying to find safety. And so you might need to reflect on the rules that you've got for yourself in your love life, because that could be part of this holding yourself back because of what you've been through before. A lot to think about today. We're tricky like that. We have rules for ourselves and it's based on what we've been through, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, it kind of makes sense, but it doesn't really. We try and save ourselves from the past, and we can't change the past. And the present rarely has anything to do with the past. We project in that kind of a way. What else have we got today? We've got a flute, disappointment in a friend or lover in the past, right? There's a need to face that. What disappointed you about someone? It's got something to do with differing priorities. Bird flying, news is on the way. We've got a vulture, depression, anxiety, worry that someone's against you or something's against you. Candle, you will be shown the way. The universe has got you. Feather, someone you know is undependable and insincere. And that could be that person in the past as well. We've got a rose, romance is in the air. For sure, the universe is trying to get you into a relationship in this reading, if this reading is resonating with you. Happiness will make you really happy. And it's time to get out and have some fun and to lighten up about this and to allow yourself to get into a relationship. Well, think of a yes or no answer question, because I've got a red and a green crystal in this bag. I'm going to pull one of them out very shortly for our answer. But this is just a bit of fun because it's a general reading, not a personal reading. If you want me to pull crystals out of my bag and cards out of my decks for questions that you've got, you can either book in for a one-question reading on my website, behealing.com. Find a link for that in the description box below and also up there too. Or if you want something more, if you want more detail and you want it to be private, then you can get a private reading with me from our website, behealing.com. Find a link for that in the description box below and also up there too. How best to deal with these energies today? Well, we've got very significant cards out here, major arcanas. Death and judgment. The death card is significant change in our life. Something needs to end. And it feels like a part of ourselves. And it's about judgment. It's about discernment. It's about making choices for yourself. It's about seeing things clearly and choosing. Now, a lot of the time we can just go with feeling. We can go with our feelings, especially in relationship. And that's not the best way to be. Because our feelings don't tell us whether a relationship is good for us or not. It doesn't tell us whether our priorities are the same. It doesn't tell us whether our moral values are the same as someone else. It doesn't tell us, those feelings don't tell us whether someone has been working on themselves and have healed themselves, learned self-love so that they can be in a healthy relationship with us. Our feelings don't tell us any of that stuff at all. Our minds can and are noticing the actual evidence of who someone is being. Our feelings don't tell us that at all, and sometimes we've just gone with our feelings when we shouldn't have done. We should have been using our judgment. Now, again, back to this message here is you're just looking back on the positives of a relationship in the past, but what you were missing is that there was different priorities between you and that person, and you didn't find out about that, or you didn't see it at the time, you didn't confront it at the time, or you just didn't ask. You had different priorities. Perhaps reflect back on that relationship that you thought was good, and you're never going to get as good a one as that if you're believing something like that, because you actually didn't have the same priorities in life. And all the more reason to be discerning and ask people about themselves, and on a deeper level about what fuels them and their future, and what it is that they want, and where they're coming from, and stuff like that. Interesting. It feels like the universe is trying to get us into a healthy relationship here, and saying, like, check these things out this time. Think of a yes or no answer question now. Your answer is no. No, see, it's the ruby. See, so many people come for readings, for like love readings, wanting to be told whether it's right for you or not. And my readings are saying, look, this is the way for you to figure out, for you to be empowered and figure out whether this is the right person for you or not. It's like you get to decide and you get to choose. And if you want someone else to tell you, or you want to base it off a feeling or a reading, then you're probably going to end up in the wrong relationships each time. It's for you to empower yourself and make good decisions in your life. And I hope that my readings help you do that. Let me know in the comments below if it does. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to click like before you click off down there. Click that subscribe button if you're new, leave a comment. That'll get you an entry into that prize draw for a free reading with me at the end of the month. I do one of these today's tarot every single day of the year. I go live 3 times a week in my Psychic Cafe show. Come along sometime. I'd love to see you in there, get to know you, and perhaps read for you too. And I make 3 Love Picker card reads a week as well. You can find one of those right there right now. I'll make 2 or 3. Find one of those right there right now. You can watch that next if you want. I keep on forgetting to say that. Got to remind myself. 2 or 3. Have the best day ever. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.